And the case every day in the month of July. It is game day here for the Cape Cod Baseball League as the Whitey Red Sox get set to take on the Harwich Mariners in this Eastern Division class here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. It is a beautiful day. The sun is out, not nearly as humid as it was yesterday, which I'm sure everyone here at the stadium appreciates as we get set for the latest edition of Whitey Red Sox Baseball. Hello and welcome in everybody on this fine Monday afternoon. Andre Sims, and joining me, as always, is TJ Mathewson. And TJ, we first take a look back at yesterday's contest, a 7-0 win for these Red Sox, and it was a game in which, against the Falmouth Commodores, that they really had control of for start to finish, despite not putting up anything on the scoreboard through the first 4 innings. They never really felt like they had this game in doubt, and a big reason for that was another outstanding start from Ian Seymour. What did you see from him yesterday?
I mean, what can you say? I mean, Ian Seymour's just done it all season long. He showed up, he's struck batters out, and he's given the Red Sox a chance to win some games. Earlier on the season, gave up a few hits, a few runs here and there, which boosted the ERA a little bit. But towards these last couple of starts he has, didn't give up a single earned run in either of his last 2 starts. 11 innings, and if my math is correct, 16 strikeouts in those 11 innings, and just a spectacular last start here on the Cape Cod Baseball League. It was a pleasure having him.
It absolutely was. It was a treat for all of us up here to watch as both fans and broadcasters. And today the Red Sox shift from one lefty to another in USC's John Beller. And this is the guy, TJ, where you have to figure, especially with the departure of someone like Ian Seymour, that they're going to be leaning on him heavily to really continue to pick up that slack and perform well down the stretch. What does Beller need to do both tonight and going forward to really emerge as a leader on this staff?
Well, as shaky as this staff has been, we literally in the last 2 days saw the polar ends of it. You had a bullpen day against Orleans where the Red Sox gave up 15 runs. Then you have yesterday, they come home, have their best pitcher on the mound, and he absolutely shuts down the opposition for a complete game shutout. Or not a complete game shutout. The Red Sox ended up getting a shutout, though, in the ball game. And Beller has been pretty consistent this year. He's got the start on opening day. He's been here ever since, and all he's done is gone out there, give the Red Sox some innings, and give them a chance to win. I mean, last time out against Harwich, not his best outing. 4 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits and 5 strikeouts. He's got a chance to see them for the second week in a row, and with some scouting reports, I'm sure he's going to have a better idea how to navigate this lineup.
Familiarity is key here on Cape Cod, especially when you're facing a team like you do in your division 6 times over the course of the 44-game season, and this is a lineup on paper that seems to be a favorable matchup for John Beller. That, of course, with the exception, TJ, of Nico Cavadas, who took the home run lead away from Whitey's own Austin Wells with a 3-home-run performance not too long ago. There's just no other way around it. The kid's a stud.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't, of course, get to see it. That game happened in Wareham, about as far away from possible as where we were at the time. But a spectacular performance, 4 for 3. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs in an instant, goes from 2 home runs behind Austin Wells to 1 ahead, and the 2 will face off here today. Cavadas, of course, he's going to be participating in the Cape League home run hitting contest a week from yesterday. That's going to be a real treat to watch, and we're going to see if he could take advantage of the small confines here at Red Wilson today.
It's another Eastern Division matchup between these two teams that are, at this point, know each other very well. It's one of the best pitching staffs in the league in the Harwich Mariners versus one of the best offenses on Cape Cod in the Whitey Red Sox, and we will be right back with all the action, lineups, first pitch, the national anthem. On the other side of this break, you're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. We are back. John Beller is taking his warm-up tosses as we are just about set to get underway here in South Yarmouth. And a look at the Mariners lineup that will be run out there to face the USC lefty, Dylan Noisy, a name that both my partner TJ and I had a bit of confusion on, as it looks to be spelled as though it would be pronounced Noose, and this is why we check pronunciations pregame. Will be leading off. He goes to Texas Tech. Daniel Cabrera, the LSU Tiger, is in the 2-hole. Nico Cavadas, we talked about him in the open out of Notre Dame. He hits third. Christian Fedko, the Yukon Husky, hits cleanup. Mike Ludwig out of Wake Forest hits fifth. Joey Weimer Jr. from Cincinnati hits sixth. Pat Winkle, another Yukon Husky, hits seventh. Riley Terada, a name familiar to everyone here at the YD Red Sox, as he was released and then picked up by these Mariners, finds himself in the 8-hole today, and Hal Hughes rounds out the order. The LSU shortstop hits ninth. It's a beautiful day here in South Yarmouth. The sun is out. Thankfully, the humidity that made this place so sticky yesterday is subdued here on this Monday afternoon, as we are just about set for Red Sox baseball. It's been 15 days of July and 15 games played for this YD Red Sox team, as Cardenas gets the throw down to second base and Dylan Noisy strides to the plate, and we are just about set to get underway.
We have center fielder from Texas Tech University, number 10, Dylan Noisy.
So Beller toes the rubber for the first time tonight. Comes set at the eyes and quickly delivers the first pitch. And it's a big swing and a miss from Dylan Noisy, and we are underway. First pitch at 5:02. The 0-1 pitch from Beller is swung on and caroms off what looked like the mask of Cardenas, and it's quickly 0-2. John Beller ahead very quickly, 0-2. Drops the breaking ball in just off the outer half, and it's 1-2. Beller, the 5'11", 182-pound lefty. Southern California native, plays his baseball for the Trojans. This will be his fifth appearance, fourth start of the season for YD, as the 1-2 pitch is skied back, foul, and out of play. Probably his best outing of the summer came actually in his lone relief appearance, in which he went 5 innings, only allowed 1 hit against Bourne. And that completed the 2-hit shutout started by Trent Denholm in his final start, as the 1-2 is grounded to Noah Campbell at second base. Over to Samuelson at first, and Beller retires the first batter he sees for 3.
And usually, you look at John Beller's stuff. He's had really good strikeout numbers this summer, 20 strikeouts in 17 2/3 opposed to just 4 walks. But stuff that's not meant to overpower. He's going to like to use his breaking ball to the lefties, his changeup to the righties as the out pitch, and use the fastball to dot the outer edges of the plate.
Beller, a guy that sits in the high 80s. Can touch the low 90s if need be, as he delivers a first pitch downstairs for a ball. 1-0 to Daniel Cabrera. A 1-0 offering to the LSU Tiger. Big swing and a miss as Cabrera's down to a knee, and it's 1-1. Cabrera on the year, 297. He's got 9 RBI, hitting out of the 2-hole. Defense behind John Beller tonight. Austin Wells finds himself in left field. Brad Beasley, Jake Palmer in center and right field respectively, as the 1-1 is waved at and missed at the plate, and it's 1-2. On the infield, as has been the case for quite some time now for this YD team, Riley King, Wyatt Young making up the left side of the infield. Noah Campbell, after making his YD summer debut at shortstop yesterday, finds himself at second base today, position he calls home at South Carolina. And Tate Samuelson mans first base. And, of course, behind the plate, Noah Cardenas out of UCLA putting down the signs for John Beller. Currently, Noah Campbell finds himself positioned slightly onto the right field grass as they're playing Cabrera to pull. 1-2 is skied foul and out of play. Nico Cavadas waits on deck. 7 home runs, 22 RBI this season. 1-2. Cabrera spits on the breaking pitch. The appeal to third base. Third base umpire Mark Delaney says no. Behind the plate is Tom Ragberg calling balls and strikes. And then on the other base over at first right now is James Fonseca. 2-2 from Beller. That one lofted, and that is fair down the right field line. Palmer over into the corner to greet it. And it'll be a one-out double for Daniel Cabrera.
Well, Cabrera, after fouling off a couple pitches with 2 strikes, looks like he got one down in the zone. Not a full effort swing there, almost trying to just stay alive. Ends up keeping it fair down that right field line. Didn't hit it all that hard, but hit it in the right spot. He's got good speed, eases into second base.
So Cavadas already with 22 RBI on the year, with an opportunity to add to that total right now. Beller out of the stretch for the first time, set at the letters. First pitch is skipped in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Cavadas, 6'2", 230. Junior, Granger, Indiana native. Rocking the bright green and gold Notre Dame colored cleats. Really clashes with the navy and red of the Harwich uniforms as he waves at an off-speed pitch that tails away from him, and it's 1-1. You certainly know what school he goes to with those cleats.
Oh, yeah. Green and gold.
Beller gets the sign, comes set. Cabrera gets his lead off second base with Wyatt Young keeping him close. Another good off-speed pitch from Beller has Cavadas out in front, and it's now 1-2. We've seen this Whitey pitching staff handle some very high-profile bats in the past couple days, namely one of the hottest hitters on Cape Cod, Zach DeLoach, yesterday held him to an 0-for-3 day with a couple of strikeouts. And it's 2-2 now to Cavadas after the fastball misses outside. Feels like as Cavadas goes, so too does this Harwich offense, a team that, while having one of the best pitching staffs on Cape Cod, struggles for consistency on offense. Two-two. Big swing and a miss, and that one's in the dirt. Cardenas will go down to first. Cabrera is trying to advance, and some heads-up base running gets him to third. And now the first run of the ball game is 90 feet away, and there's 2 down here in the first.
Well, great instincts there from Daniel Cabrera. He gets good secondary lead off of second. Sees Cardenas, not a full effort throw down to first. Lobs it, sort of. It was an okay throw down to first, but as soon as he sees Cardenas throw that ball down to first, he takes off for third, and there's really no chance for Tate Samuelson to gun him out at third. He's almost most of the way there by the time he makes the catch.
So the first run of the game sits 90 feet away, and now the cleanup hitter, Christian Fedko, steps in, batting from the right side. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses well outside, and it's 1-0. Infield shifted well over to the right side for Christian Fedko as Noah Campbell finds himself playing virtually directly behind John Beller on the mound. And Fedko's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 pitch is well high, and it's now 3 balls, no strikes. Finishing innings has probably been the single biggest kryptonite of this YD Red Sox pitching staff in this season, as their inconsistencies have been well documented, but one of the things, TJ, that I think really does stand out is their inability to get out of an inning.
Sometimes it, has come back to bite them. We saw a couple nights ago in Orleans, that was the case.
It's a 4-pitch walk to Christian Fedko, and now it's first and third, 2 down. You think about at Orleans, it was an issue. I believe it was 11 of 13 against Brewster earlier this season. About a week ago, that came with 2 outs. There was the 2-out rally in the top of the 7th against Katuitt here in the first game of a doubleheader, in which they allowed 5 runs with 2 outs. It has certainly been something that has plagued this team and certainly cost them wins.
Man, a little surprising for a staff that now ranks second in the Cape League in strikeouts. Get that one swing and miss pitch you need to get out of an inning. It just hasn't been there for some parts. And then you have yesterday where you couldn't have asked for a better outing from the combination of Ian Seymour, Jacob Winger.
First pitch to Mike Ludwig is a breaking ball that dips down but is swung on and missed at the plate, and it's 0-1. Cabrera sits on third. Christian Fedko on the back-end runner at first. Michael Ludwig, the 5th place hitter, as the pickoff throw is a bit lazy and skips it in front of Samuelson, who knocks it down. No advance from Cabrera at third, though. And Ludwig, Demon Deacon, sitting at 250 on the year. Only has 2 RBIs. That one's grounded back up the middle. Good play from Wyatt Young, ranging well over to his left, and he'll go to Samuelson to first, and that'll end the inning. Beller works around some early trouble, escapes the 2-on, 2-out jam as we head to the bottom of the first. YD coming up to take their first swings of the game. You're listening to Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the first inning here at Red Wilson Field. Andre Sims, TJ Mathewson with you as Wyatt Young, the leadoff man for YD, steps to the plate here to get the YD offense off and running here in the bottom of the first. This YD offense will be facing a pitcher they've seen before, as Jordan Butler fires his first pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1. Butler earlier in the season went 5 innings, only allowed 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 5 against this YD team in a start here at Red Wilson in a 4-2 win for Harwich. The 0-1 pitch misses outside to Wyatt Young. Following Wyatt Young, and the rest of this YD order is Brad Beasley. He's in center field tonight. Austin Wells bats third. Noah Campbell in the cleanup spot. Jake Palmer is in the 5-hole. Riley King bats 6 as the 1-1 is a breaking ball that spins high and out of the zone. 2-1. Following Riley King, rounding out the bottom third of the order are Tate Samuelson, Andrew Eister, and Noah Cardenas. 2-1 pitch to Young. Chopped on the ground to first. Cavadas will feel and take it to the bag himself, but it's a 3 unassisted to start the evening for YD. So that'll bring up Brad Beasley, who, in the midst of all of the lineup shakeups that Scott Pickler has done, which I would say TJ has worked very well, is moving people around. One of the things that has worked out incredibly well is Brad Beasley up in the 2-hole. He's been swinging the best bat he's swung all season.
Yeah, he's hit over 300 his last 10.
And gets a base hit right there through the left side. So right on cue, Brad Beasley, first pitch swinging, sends a ground ball through the left side, and he's got himself a single.
He's not a big power guy, but he's got good speed. He's got a nice, solid, compact swing. And, you know, Pick got to see a lot of him last year. He was injured quite a bit when he was in, though, hit well over 300. And even despite the tough start up here this season, he kept with him, and now it's the results are paying off again as he's really heating up here lately.
So now Austin Wells steps in, the man who Nico Cavadas overtook for the home run lead, and on that first pitch swing, looked like he was trying to retie him there and look for his 7th, as it was a big swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Spent a good chunk of the Orleans game talking to Austin Wells' family. Fantastic family. The whole crew's down from Vegas as he grounds one through the left side. That's a base hit. Beasley seeing it all the way, goes first to third, and it's runners on the corner and 1 down for the Red Sox.
And that's so much what Austin Wells is about. And I asked him before that Orleans game why he's not deciding to do the home run derby. He joked and at first said when he's talking to his teammates about why he didn't do it, he said, I don't hit home runs. And it's just because he's more than a home run hitter. He's a great average hitter. He'll shorten his swing when he needs to. Take a pitch that's down and in, hit it on the ground, you know, like he does right there. Doesn't have to elevate it. Ends up finding a base hit and is just an all-around good hitter.
So now Noah Campbell steps in with an opportunity to get the Red Sox on the board early as he looks at a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike 0-1. And to your point, TJ, Austin Wells, so like you said, so much more than a home run hitter with the average. Sitting where it is, I've been more impressed with some of his gap-to-gap line drives, his doubles that he's hit, rather than necessarily the major home runs, of which there have been a few. As Campbell bloops one into shallow center field, Beasley has to wait on it. Coming in is noisy, but he's unable to make the play, and now Brad Beasley will trot on home, and it's an RBI single for Noah Campbell.
It was a good start here for YD against Jordan Butler, a guy that mostly held them down their last time out, but you know, after Wyatt Young grounds out to start the ball game, base hit, base hit, base hit, and you're on the board just like that. Doesn't have to hit it too hard, just has to find the right spot, and that's exactly what YD has done.
3 straight hits and YD is on the board early. And that really is, over the course of the season, the barometer of this YD offense. In games where they get off to quick starts, they have a lot more success than games where they have to play from behind. Palmer squares to Button, but it misses his bat, and it's quickly 0-2. Palmer with runners on first and second, still 1 down. The infield at double play depth. Third baseman Riley Terada playing in right at the lip of the grass. So that was actually the 0-1 pitch, not the 0-2. The scoreboard had it wrong, and it's now 0-2. Palmer at a UC Irvine. It's settled into the 5-hole in this lineup. Average up to 293. The 0-2. Waves way out in front of the breaking ball, and he's down swinging for the second out of the inning. And Riley King now will step to the plate.
There's that breaking ball from Butler. Jake Palmer doesn't chase out of the strike zone too often. He's walked more than he struck out this summer, but that pretty spinner up there from Butler just dives out of the strike zone after looking like it's going to be on the outside corner. He gets a pretty disciplined Palmer to go chase after it.
It's a testament to the East that this Harwich Mariners team currently sits in last place, though, having 26 points this Cape League season. That one is skied out to left off the bat of Riley King. Daniel Cabrera reels it in, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So the Red Sox draw first blood here in this contest. They are up 1-0 after one. We head to the top of the second here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. John Beller has now been spotted with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of the Whitey offense in the bottom of the first inning, as he's back out for the top of the seventh. And the first batter he'll face will be Joey Weimer. And the first pitch was a frame attempt there from Cardenas behind the plate to no avail, and it's 1-0. Weimer at 284 as he cuts and misses at the 1-0 pitch, and it's 1-1. One pitch on the way from Beller. Kicks and deals. Just off the inner half, and it's 2-1. Beller, as he does in every start, working very quickly on the mound. 2-1 is chopped to Riley King. He plays the high hop. Strong throw across the diamond to first. Almost pulls Samuelson off the bag, but he holds his feet. And that's the first out of the inning.
Riley King got a bit of a friendly hop there on that ground ball. Kicked up just a little bit higher than I thought it would, right around his eye level. He's able to stab it and doesn't have to move around too much. His arms and shoulders and get that one and a strong throw over to first.
First pitch now to Pat Winkle is a good breaking ball in there for a called strike 0-1. As I was saying before, we went to the inning break. This Harwich team sits in last place, although they do have 26 points, as Winkle is out in front of an off-speed pitch there, and it's quickly 0-2. For context, that 26 points would see them comfortably in fourth, ahead of both the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, as Falmouth sits in third place in the West with 27. 0-2 pitch is downstairs, 1-2. And it just feels like, TJ, this Eastern Division continues to just beat up on each other, and it just creates very little separation, as only 10 points divide first from fifth. And down on strikes goes Pat Winkle as he can't pull the trigger on the off-speed pitch, and it's the second out of the inning, second strikeout for John Beller.
And it also just shows you, because fact, you already mentioned it, but being a last-place team, they have the most All-Stars of any Eastern Division team, 9.
First pitch swinging Riley Terada, and that one's blooped into shallow right field. Palmer coming in on the dive, can't quite make the play. Riley Terada does what he did so well in a Whitey Red Sox uniform. It's a double.
4 of the 5 hits for Terada in a Whitey uniform were doubles. That one not of the traditional variety, but nonetheless gets the job done. Tough catch for Palmer. He was actually playing pretty deep in right field. Had to come in a long way to make that catch. Laid out, came up about a foot short. Trickled past him, allowed Terada to get to second.
Wyatt Young jokefully slapping the tag on Terada as he was standing on the base. And a quick what's up there from the former teammates, as I'm sure Riley Terada, one, still happy to be on Cape Cod after being released by these Red Sox, and also happy to see the guys on this team. So now Hal Hughes will step in, batting in the 9-hole out of LSU. Teammate of Whitey Red Sox Gavin Dugas down there in the swamp. First pitch to him is a breaking ball in the outer half, but it just misses wide, 1-0. That is something you do see from time to time here on Cape Cod, is cases like Riley Terada getting released by one team and then picked up by another, as opposed to getting released and then heading to a different collegiate summer league. Back up the middle, John Beller almost makes the catch at the belt, but knocks it down. Will fire over to Samuelson, and that'll end the inning. So Beller with a bit of a look what I found on the mound. Stops the line drive from squeaking through, and it records the final out of the inning. We're through 1.5. 1-0 Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Red Sox as they lead 1-0 here against the Harwich Mariners. Tate Samuelson steps in, first pitch swinging, chases a fastball wide, and it's 0-1. Foul tipped off the mask of Pat Winkle behind the plate, and it's quickly 0-2. Samuelson digs back in. Awaits the 0-2 offering. Spoils it down the first base line, and it's snagged by Cavadas going to his left, and that's the first out of the inning. So now that'll bring up Andrew Eister, who for the first time in a while, TJ, had himself a solid day at the plate last night. On base a couple times, got a big-time RBI hit in the 7th inning, scored a couple runs in what was a game that had to feel good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really, ever since the first 2 weeks of the season, a struggle at the plate for him.
First pitch to him is a called strike, 0-1.
Looked like yesterday he was seeing the ball quite a bit better, barreled up a couple balls. First one, the only out he recorded on the day, he absolutely smoked, but it was off the leg of the Falmouth pitcher at the time.
Eister spits on the 0-1 pitch, and it's even 1 ball, 1 strike. And to your point, I think we saw him in yesterday's contest put together the best at-bats we've seen in quite some time. As the walk he worked was a very good at-bat. Like you said, squared up a couple of balls at the plate as he looks at a breaking ball in the inner half, up 1-2. Eister getting the start again today, DHing. Seen the average dip all the way down to 234. 1-2 on its way. Down and away, and it's even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Got him on the inner half looking, and that's the second out of the inning. So Eister is down on strikes via the backwards K. And Noah Cardenas now will step in with the bases clear and 2 men down.
It didn't look like Eister was too happy with that call from home plate umpire Tom Ryberg. A little distaste on his face as he walked back to the Whitey dugout.
Cardenas' first pitch swinging, fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Top of the lineup, Wyatt Young waits on deck. Whitey took the lead in this one, courtesy of 3 straight hits from Brad Beasley, Austin Wells, and Noah Campbell in the first. The 0-1. It's wide for a ball, 1-1. One pitch on the way, well outside, and it's 2-1. Cardenas steps back in, digs his back foot in towards the back of the 2-1. Good off-speed pitch buckles Cardenas at the plate, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Two offering on its way to Cardenas, and it's downstairs, and he's worked the count full. Infield and outfield straight away. Wind not really blowing here at Red Wilson today. That one just off the plate inside, and Cardenas draws the 2-out walk.
The short spot from Pepperdine University, Wyatt.
So the Red Sox have cycled through the order 1 time as Wyatt Young steps in for his second at-bat in as many innings, with 2 down here and a runner on first. Butler out of the stretch, delivers to Wyatt Young. In there for a called strike, 0-1. Wyatt Young, shortstop out of Pepperdine. One of Whitey's offensive starters in the All-Star game coming up here on Sunday in Orleans to go along with Austin Wells and Riley King. 0-2 pitch. Good take there from Wyatt Young at the dish. And it's 1-2. Runner goes. It's ball in the dirt. No chance for Winkle behind the plate. And Cardenas is up to second base with the stolen base.
Good advantage there with 2 strikes. Picked the right pitch, a breaking ball. That'll be Cardenas' first stolen bag of the summer. Got a really good jump. Couldn't even force a throw of Winkle behind the plate. Had to dig that one out of the dirt.
It's now a full count to Wyatt Young as he's gone from 0-2 to work it all the way back to 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to Wyatt Young. And it's down and away, and it's back-to-back 2-out walks for the Red Sox. And now Brad Beasley will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 down.
First time through the lineup, the control for Butler looked pretty good, but back-to-back hitters, he's worked into a full count and hasn't been able to put away either of them.
So Beasley, who singled his first time up, then scored a run, looks at the first pitch downstairs for a ball, 1-out. One 0 pitch is dots the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Another RBI opportunity for the Red Sox here early as they look to give John Beller more to work with on the mound. One pitch is downstairs, scooped up behind the plate by Winkle, and it's 2-1. Two-one pitch is skied into right. Cabrera drifts back, now turns around, and he'll make the grab and retire the side. So the Red Sox strand a pair here in the bottom of the second inning. It's still just 1-0 through 2 full. We head to the top of the third inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The center fielder from Texas Tech University, Billing.
Top of the third inning here from Red Wilson Field. It's 1-0 Whitey over Harwich here in South Yarmouth. TJ Mathewson and Andre Sims here with you. It'll be the top of the Harwich lineup due up to face John Beller, Dylan Noisy, Daniel Cabrera, and Nico Cavadas. Beller's gotten through the Harwich order once without giving up a run. Fires home a first pitch strike on the fastball to Noisy, and this top of the third is underway. Noisy grounded out to Noah Campbell at second to lead off the ball game. After today hitting 143 out of Texas Tech. Swings and chops at the 0-1. Dribbles over to Riley King at third. He fields and tosses over to first in time to get Noisy on 2 pitches. There's out number 1 here in the top of the third. So Daniel Cabrera, who has 1 of 2 hits for the Harwich Mariners today, will dig in from the left side at LSU. He doubled back in the first inning. Was left stranded over on second base in the first innings. John Beller had to dodge out of trouble. Served up a double and a walk in that inning. So Cabrera bats left-handed. He's a starter in right field for the Eastern Division in the All-Star game. First pitch, breaking ball misses away, and the count goes to 1-0. 9 selections for this Harwich Mariners squad in the All-Star game. You have Nico Cavadas, who's over at first. You have Christian Fedko at second base. And then Daniel Cabrera in right field. All starters. 2-0. Breaking ball misses low. 1-0 breaking ball misses low. And the count goes to 2-0. And then you have Jacob Polish out of Stanford. Connor McCullough out of Kansas State. Will Heflin out of Tennessee. Joe Boyle out of Notre Dame will be in the bullpen. And Joey Weimer and Chris Gallant, 2 outfielders, will be reserves. Breaking ball in the 2-0. Catches the strike zone right at the knees. It's 2-1. But last place in the East, but most All-Stars. Red Sox, who sit at second, have just 4. 2-1 from Beller. Breaking ball again. This one stays high, and it's 3-1. Beller likes to throw all of his pitches in any count. What Christian Wanders told me, great pitchability is what Beller brings to the table. Always around the strike zone with all of his pitches. 3-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Cabrera will toss his bat aside and take first base. The second walk of the game for Beller. So on 5 pitches, Cabrera will jog down to the first base pillow, and that will bring up the Cape League home run leader, Nico Cavadas. It was 2 nights ago that Cavadas went 3 for 4 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs against the Wareham Gatemen, take over the Cape League home run lead. Big guy batting left-handed. Facing John Beller, the lefty on lefty matchup here. First pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Cavadas stands at 6'2", but 230 pounds. A sophomore at Notre Dame. Waves the bat over home plate. Now brings it back up above his head as Beller sets. 0-1. Fastball called a strike. It's 0-2. Cavadas, the native of Granger, Indiana. I mentioned the sophomore at Notre Dame. Former Kalamazoo Growler of the Northwoods League last summer. 2019 and 54 games at .274 with 12 long balls. 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Cardenas. He keeps it in front of him and keeps Daniel Cabrera over on at first. Cabrera 4 for 4 on stolen bases this summer. So decent speed over at first. So Harwich team, 4th in the Cape League in stolen bases. They're 34 of 42. Red Sox slightly ahead of them volume-wise. 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, again blocked by Cardenas. Cavadas doesn't chase. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox at 37 of 51 in stolen bases this summer. So slightly more stolen bases, although at a lesser percentage than these Harwich Mariners. As Cabrera leads off of first. 2-2. Breaking ball again misses away, and the count will go to 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Cavadas. Big lefty digs back in the box. The green and gold cleats. Beller hangs that left hand down near his knees as he gets his sign. Now comes up and gets set. 3-2 on the way. There goes Cabrera from first pitch. Misses outside for ball 4. Throw from Cardenas won't mean anything. Cavadas tosses his bat aside, and it's back-to-back walks for John Beller. That'll put runners on at first and second for the third straight All-Star in this Harwich lineup, Christian Fedko. So Fedko will step to the plate. He walked back in the first. One of 3 walks now for Beller, who's now almost equaled his season total in walks. He's 1 away. He entered today with 4 in 17 2/3. He's already at 3. Working here in the third inning with just 1 out. Cardenas standing up right now, goes back into the squat to give the signs to John Beller. Sophomore out of USC. Sets and the first pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike, and it's 0-1. We've seen Beller get ahead with the breaking ball to each of the hitters in this inning, but has been unable to finish off the last 2 batters in Daniel Cabrera and Nico Cavadas. A lot of the breaking stuff missing outside to those left-handed hitters, but now getting to face the righty Fedko. Cabrera leads off of second. Here's the 0-1. Fastball called a strike, and it's 0-2. Beller's got 2 strikeouts today. He'd love a third. Native of Hermosa Beach, California. Attended St. John Bosco High School. He's got a fastball, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup in his arsenal. Fastball, not going to blow you away, just tops out at 89. 0-2 on the way. Swing and a foul back. Looked like the fastball there from Beller, and it stays 0-2. This series between the Harwich Mariners and the Whitey Red Sox knotted up at 1 game apiece. Each team has taken a game on its opponent's home turf. Red Sox, a while back, got a win in Harwich. And the Harwich Mariners a week ago took a game 4-2 here at Red Wilson Field. 2 set to play 4 more contests, including this one, as the 0-2 swing and a looper right at Noah Campbell at second. Backtracks a few steps into the outfield grass behind second. He's there and he'll make the catch. And that's the second out of this third inning. So a nice, easy pop-up on the infield retires Christian Fedko. And that will bring up the designated hitter, Michael Ludwig, as Beller tries to get out of another jam here in the third. In Beller's freshman season at USC was awesome. Had a 2.72 ERA and a 3-1 record, mostly out of the bullpen. Moved into still mostly out of the bullpen, but more of a starter role. Midweek starter with 6 starts and 17 overall appearances this spring at USC as the 1-0 misses outside, and it's 1-0. Had a great last start for USC at Oregon State, where he threw 7 shutout innings. 0-1 on the way. Or 1-0, pardon. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. It's 1-1. Well, has been a starter here for Whitey. And has been one of the better ones for inconsistent Whitey staff, who's allowed the second most runs on the Cape, only to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who've, as the 1-1 breaking ball misses low and the count goes to 2-1. ERA-wise, we're talking 3 full runs on ERA higher than YD.
It really is extraordinary how bad that Hyannis pitching staff is.
And it just doesn't make sense for some of these teams. I mean, everyone's got talent.
Yeah. There should be. I'm always blown away by the lack of parity sometimes in Cape League.
2-1. Swing and a miss. High fastball there from Beller, changing the eye level of Ludwig, and it goes to 2-2.
You would think with this really being the best of the best, and it really is that. Like these are the best collegiate players in the country coming together. And it's basically like a series of all-star teams playing night in and night out, and yet for some reason there's always a team or two where it just doesn't come together.
2-2, swinging a ground ball towards Wyatt Young at short. Off a couple hops, he fields, throws to first, and it's not in time. Michael Ludwig able to beat that one out down the first base line. Good hustle there from the designated hitter for Harwich. It's an infield single. And that, with the bases loaded, will bring up the left fielder, Joey Weimer. It looked like a routine play for Wyatt Young. He was shaded behind the runner, Daniel Cabrera, at second. Went over to his right a little bit, scooped, throw it over to first, but it wasn't in time. So that'll bring up Weimer. He's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to start the second inning. The Cincinnati product, upright stance. First pitch. Fastball called a strike. It's 0-1. But good hustle from Ludwig. Wasn't expecting the play to be close and makes it an infield single instead. Loads the bases for Harwich. They look to tie this game here in the top of the third against Beller. Looks to work out of trouble. 0-1. Fastball tailing back but misses. Stays inside and the count will go to 1-1. Perfect, just under 80-degree day here in South Yarmouth. Temperature at first pitch was 79, still 79 degrees. Not a cloud in sight here in the middle of Cape Cod. 1-1. Breaking ball, swinging a foul back. Caught a piece of Cardenas behind the plate, and it'll go to 1-2. Yesterday, a little bit more on the muggy side. Today, probably about as perfect as you can get for baseball weather. Not too hot. Slight breeze as well. Humidity not quite there. Still lingers a little bit, but not overwhelming, if I were to rephrase. 1-2 the count here on Joey Weimer. Beller sets, and the pitch. Swing and a high fly ball left field line, but it goes way foul and out of play. Weimer, a big guy. Batting in the right-handed batter's box, he stands at 6'4", 215 pounds. So he stands back in against Beller. And the 1-2, swing and a pop-up behind home plate, foul territory. Cardenas gives it a look right up against the chain link fence and sound like it knocked into the bleachers off to our right behind home plate. And the count stays at 1-2. Weimer, a native of Temperance, Missouri. In 2019, hit .263 in this past spring with 6 home runs and 28 RBIs. He digs back in. Beller trying to get himself out of a jam here in the third. Lefty sets. And the 1-2. Breaking ball misses just away. Just couldn't get the call from the home plate umpire, Tom Ryberg. Beller wanted it, but didn't get it, and it's now 2-2. Cabrera leads off of third, Cavadas off of second, Ludwig off of first. 1-0 Red Sox here in the top of the third. Beller sets again. 2-2. Swinging a rocket past a diving Riley King at third and into left field. Cabrera will come home to score. Cavadas chugging around third. He'll score as well. 2-run single from Joey Weimer puts the Harwich Mariners on top 2-1 here at Red Wilson. And Beller couldn't get that out pitch here in the third inning as Weimer puts one past Riley King at third into left field and gives the Harwich Mariners the lead.
We talked about it a couple innings ago, TJ. 2-out opportunities continuing to plague this team as you're unable to convert on the infield single. The throw just took a little bit too long getting across the diamond for Wyatt Young. That gets an extra man to the plate, and that extra man takes advantage of the 2-out opportunity, driving in 2.
So here's Pat Winkle, batting .174, a double and 7 RBIs for him this season. First pitch to the Yukon Husky, over for a strike. It's 0-1. You can look at either of the 2 walks in this inning, both on full counts. Either of those could have been outs. You had the infield single from Ludwig, that potential strike 3 called to Joey Weimer that was ruled outside. Ends up making him pay for a 2-run single. 0-1 on the way to Winkle. Fastball stays upstairs. It's 1-1. And with that, 2 runs have crossed the plate for the Mariners here in the top of the third. For a pretty much dead last-ranked offense in the Cape League. Last in runs, last in average, last in on-base percentage. 1-1 from Beller. Swing and a chopper, foul up the first base side on the breaking ball, and the count will go to 1-2. Winkle didn't play yesterday for the Mariners. Harwich lost 2-1 to Bourne. Bourne got their only runs on a 2-run home run. And Chris Gallen drove in the only run of the night in the 4th inning for the Mariners, who've scored two runs or less 18 of their 29 games this summer. Beller had 1-2. Now he'll step off. As time is called at home plate, Winkle will step out and recollect himself. Pinwheels the bat a couple times. Beller peers in at Cardenas. Lefty gets his sign. Will come set again. See if he can get the out pitch. 1-2, breaking ball, called strike 3. Finally, John Beller gets the breaking ball to drop in over the inside corner and frees Winkle. For the second straight time for the Yukon Husky at the plate, he struck out looking both times, and the third of the evening for John Beller. Not before the damage is done. A 2-run single from Joey Weimer puts Harwich in front 2-1 here at Red Wilson. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Harwich here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. It's now 2-1 Harwich here in the bottom of the third inning. Austin Wells, Noah Campbell, and Jake Palmer set to come to the plate against Jordan Butler, out for his third inning of work for the Harwich Mariners. Served up 1 run on 3 hits. He's now supported a lead from his offense. Harwich coming across with a pair of hits to get them the lead. 2 RBI single from Joey Weimer in the top half of the third has given Harwich the lead. First pitch to Austin Wells stays upstairs from Butler. It's 0-1, or 1-0, pardon. Butler, the sophomore out of Florida, roommates with Jack Leftwich of YD. 1-0 misses away, and the count will go to 2-0 here on Wells. Lefty winds the 2-0, swinging a ground ball past the shortstop, Hal Hughes, and into center for a base hit. Austin Wells 2 for 2 on the day, and a great start to this third inning for YD. They now trail by 1. Look to get base runners on to scratch that tying run across. And now Noah Campbell will step to the plate. He singled back in the first inning as well. 3 straight singles in that first inning. Drove across the only run of the game for the Red Sox, and the switch hitting Campbell bat right-handed against his SEC counterpart Jordan Butler. First pitch from the lefty, fastball, misses away, and it's 1-0.
That's the thing about Austin Wells, TJ. And Brian and I talked about this on yesterday's broadcast. Very rarely do you see him have back-to-back bad games. An 0 for 4 night last night, a couple of strikeouts. Quickly flushes it, quickly gets it out of his head, and he's now 2 for 2.
1-0, chop towards third. Fielding it is the third baseman, Tarana. His only play is to first, and he throws over to first in time to get Noah Campbell. So Campbell retired on the fielder's choice. Austin Wells will advance to second. So the former YD Red Sox throwing out his former teammate in Campbell, and that will bring up Jake Palmer, the right fielder. We saw Palmer uncharacteristically chase a pitch down and out of the strike zone for strike 3 his last time up. Overall, hitting .293 this summer entering play. with a double, a triple, and a pair of RBIs. A potential third RBI for him stands out on second in the form of Austin Wells. First pitch, fastball, misses inside, and it's 1-0. The second baseman Fedko shaded a little over into the hole at second, while Hal Hughes, the shortstop, is shaded more up the middle behind Austin Wells. Tirada's playing in on the grass, right even at third. Deep at first is Cavadas. 1-0. Catches the strike zone fastball in the outside corner. It's 1-1. Three outfielders for Harwich, all playing Palmer straight up. That left center gap, if Palmer chooses to go that way, plenty of green grass out there. Wells leads off of second. Butler gets his sign. Peeks back at second twice, and time is called. Tom Ryberg behind the plate, called time. Good check by Jake Palmer as Butler was taking his time on the mound. And forcing Butler to reset. The Tampa, Florida native has a three-pitch guy, a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. Former 34th round pick in the 2017 draft by the Yankees. 1-1, swing and a miss by Palmer, and the count's now 1-2. In 2019, for Florida, it was 19 appearances out of the bullpen, 24 2/3. Had an ERA up over 5, 25 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Palmer back into the left side. He's behind 1-2. Butler looks back at Wells, and the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing, and a foul out of play. And the count will stay at 1-2 strikes. That same pitch got Palmer to strike out swinging back in the first. Well, this time it was left a little bit more over the plate, and Palmer fouled it back to the third base side. Bit of a sparse crowd here tonight at Red Wilson on a Monday night. A makeup game. 8 teams in action tonight. Wareham and Orleans have the night off as the 1-2 misses well inside. And the count will go to 2-2 strikes. But the rest of the league in action. Of course, we have this matchup of Harwich and YD. Katuitt visits Bourne at 6 o'clock. Falmouth visits Hyannis also at 6 o'clock. And then Brewster visits Chatham at 7. Palmer rests the bat on his shoulder. Count even at 2-2. Here's the pitch from the lefty Butler. Fastball misses well away, and Palmer's worked the count full 3-2. Butler unable to be quite as efficient as he was back in his first outing. He's now already at 48 pitches working here in the bottom of the third. Whitey has forced him into a couple of walks and has also scattered 4 hits. Wells dancing off of second. 3-2 to Palmer. Swing and a fly ball out to left field. This is going to back up the left fielder Weimer. Back a few steps. He has it in his sights. He'll make the catch. Wells a few feet off of second. He's not tagging. Throw in from Weimer, a strong one. Cut off by Hal Hughes at shortstop. And Wells will stay at second base. A fly out for Jake Palmer. And now 2 outs. And here's the third baseman, Riley King. King flew out to right field back in the first inning to end what could have been a further offensive threat for YD. They stranded 2 runners. So King, the starting third baseman for the Eastern Division All-Star team, he'll dig in. Hitting .365 entering play today. 3 at-bats shy of qualifying for the batting title. First pitch, swing and a foul back. And it's 0-1. If he were to slot into that, he would be tied with Wyatt Young. Both looking up at Zach DeLoach of Falmouth, who we saw yesterday was held hitless against the YD pitching. Butler sets, and the 0-1 on its way to King. Breaking ball, looked like the changeup, called a strike, and it's 0-2. King has really come on strong as late. He's hit 400 over his last 10, and hits over 500 against lefties, 560 on the summer. Looks to take advantage of that right here. Butler will set again, look back at Wells. And the 0-2. Swing and a fly ball down the left field side. It's hooking, and it will go foul. Right over the YD bullpen as the fence hooks back that way. It landed out of play, heading towards the field hockey fields here at DY High School. And King almost had one. He just was out in front of it and hooked it foul. So I'll have to dig back in behind 0-2. Seeing if he can get another pitch to hit right here. Butler left a mistake up in the strike zone. Left-hander out of Florida will set. The 0-2 coming on its way again. Breaking ball, swinging a foul up the third base side again. This one makes its way to the bullpen bench down the third base side and chased after by a few young fans. Wells led off this inning with a single. And then it was Noah Campbell grounded into a fielder's choice, and then Jake Palmer flew out to left. Riley King trying to tie this ball game up at 2 with a 2-out RBI. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep right field, backing up Cabrera, still backing up, and he's there. He'll make the catch about 5 feet in front of the fence for out number 3. Wells had a good lead off of second. He would have scored if that landed, but Cabrera showing good range in right and retires Riley King for the second time today. We'll head to the fourth. Red Sox put up a 0 in the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Harwich here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the fourth inning here from Red Wilson Field. It's the Harwich Mariners 2 and the YD Red Sox 1 here in South Yarmouth. TJ Mathewson and Andre Sims here with you for tonight's game. It's Riley Tirada, Hal Hughes, and Dylan Noisy set to lead it off for the Harwich Mariners. The former YD Red Sox, Riley Tirada, will dig in. Tirada out of Dayton. First pitch on the way. Fastball stays upstairs to Tirada. It's 1-0. Tirada doubled his first time up back in the second. Did much of the same with YD. Had 4 doubles of his own, although struggled altogether. Hit just 130 in 19 games. Beller peeks in at Cardenas. Now time is called from Tom Ryberg behind the plate. Tirada, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. One I can remember around the batting cage. Always seemed to have a smile on his face. Beller gets his sign. Out of the line, the 1-0. Swinging a rocket one-hopper right at Wyatt Young at short. He fields, throws over to first, and it's in time to get Tirada by a step. Good hustle from Riley down the line, but Wyatt Young able to make a strong throw over to first and retire Tirada for the first out of this ball game. That'll bring up Hal Hughes, the shortstop out of LSU. It's been more the same for Hughes this summer, as is Tirada, and his hitting just 143. The LSU shortstop is teammates with Gavin Dugas of YD, not getting the start today. First pitch to Hughes. Fastball swinging a rocket down the left field side. It's hooking, and it'll be foul. Hal Hughes jumps on a first pitch from John Beller. Drove it down the left field line, but it just hooked and eventually stayed foul. And the count's 0-1. Some action up in the YD bullpen. The arms up and stirring, a right-hander for the Red Sox. So Hughes behind 0-1. The wind from Bell and the 0-1. inside, brushes Hughes back, and the count will be 1-1. Looks like it's Colin Kafka out and stirring for YD. Right-hander out of Oregon. Beller fidgets the glove a little bit. Gets his sign, the 1-1. Swinging another rocket down that left field side, but again, it hooks foul. Splitting Kafka and a bullpen catcher down that way, right down the middle. So Oscar Carvajal will go snag that baseball, and the count will go to 1-2 strikes. Overall, this is a Harwich team that has struggled to score runs this summer. 1-2. Breaking ball misses well away, and the count evens at 2 strikes on Hughes, averaging just over 3 runs per game, and a team batting average of just .218. They have the fewest total bases in the entire Cape League, and they have walked the fewest as well. 2-2 on the way from Beller. Breaking ball, swinging a foul out of play, and the count stays even at 2 strikes. Don't have much pop in the lineup either. Second fewest home runs with just 13. But they live and die by their pitching staff. A team .281 ERA. 2-2. Breaking ball, swinging a bloop. Shallow right field. Noah Campbell calling for it about 5 steps out onto the outfield grass. He's there and hooking around. He'll make the catch for out number 2 here in the 4th inning. So 2 up and 2 down against John Beller for the Harwich Mariners, and their leadoff hitter, Dylan Noisy, will step to the plate. Noisy today 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts. Beller at 75 pitches working here through 3 2/3. 45 strikes and 30 balls. Left-hander kicks in the first pitch, swinging a foul back, and the count's 0-1. So not a shock that Kafka is up and throwing so early. Most of these pitchers, maximum, will throw around 80 to 85 pitches. Being on innings limits here in summer ball. 0-1 on the way from Beller. Breaking ball misses away, and the count will even at 1 strike on Hughes, or on Noisy, pardon, out of Texas Tech. Noisy bats right-handed. A native of Fort Worth, Texas, the 1-1, swinging a fly ball right at Jake Palmer in right field. He peers up into the sky, moves a few steps to his left. He's there, has it in his sights, and will make the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3, the Harwich Mariners set down here in the 4th inning. Well, it's the bottom half of the frame. It's 2-1 Harwich here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Can also be purchased at the 50/50 shed, located next to the batting cage, down below.
Last call, 50-50.
Leading off for the Red Sox, the first baseman.
Tate Samuelson, Andrew Eister, and Noah Cardenas, the bottom third of the Red Sox order, coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox trailing 2-1. The bottom of the lineup to provide a spark here against Jordan Butler. He's allowed just 1 run on 4 hits through 3. First pitch to Samuelson, spoiled straight back foul, and the count's 0-1. Samuelson 0 for 1 today. Lined out to first back in the 2nd inning. 0-1, swinging a liner right at second base this time, and Christian Fedko will snag that one out of the air and retire Samuelson for out number 1. So after lining out on a soft line drive to Nico Cavadas in the 2nd inning to lead off the 2nd inning, to lead off the 4th inning, he lines one right at the second baseman Fedko, and there's 1 down. So here's Eister. He struck out looking back in the second inning. One of two strikeout victims for Butler so far. The lefty fires first pitch. Fastball called a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Butler works out of the windup, and the 0-1 on its way. Like the changeup right there misses away. It goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. So I mentioned the ERA just over 5 for Butler this season at Florida this past spring. As a freshman was slightly better, an ERA just above 4 and nearly twice the amount of innings. So the 1-1 is spoiled foul first base side, and the count will go to 1-2. 31 appearances out of the bullpen. 52 2/3 innings, a 6-2 record, and a 1-2-3 walks and hits per innings pitched. Whip, if you're more familiar with the term. 60 strikeouts, 26 walks. Also swing the bat a little bit, a two-way player. Clobbered a pair of home runs against Eister's Gamecocks earlier this spring. Lefty Butler winds, and the 1-2. Changeup misses away, and the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Was originally supposed to be a Red Sox last season, but ended up in Falmouth and got 5 at-bats, went 1 for 5. As a hitter, 2-2 on its way to Eister. Changeup, check swing, they appeal down to first, and they say Eister went around. So James Fonseca down at first said Eister couldn't check his swing as he strikes out for the second time today and the third time overall for Butler. That will bring up the catcher, Noah Cardenas. He walked back in the second inning. So Noah will step in. He's repping the Whitey High socks today, not the stirrups. 2 different kinds of socks to pair with his white uniform. White home uni. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up in shallow center field. Going out is the shortstop, Hal Hughes. In is the center fielder, Dylan Noisy. And it'll be the Texas Tech product, Noisy, in to make the catch in center for out number 3. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the 4th inning. 1 to the 5th. It's 2-1 Harwich here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
University of Oregon, number 38, Cullen.
John Beller's day is done as he gives way after 4 innings of work with the 2 runs allowed, and the new pitcher for YD here in the top of the 5th inning is Cullen Kafka out of the University of Oregon, the big right-hander. Kafka, the Bay Area native, hails from Walnut Creek, California. 6'4", 210 pounds, and delivers a fastball wide with his first pitch of the night. And it's 1-0 to Daniel Cabrera. He's been on base both times, scored a run. Sharply hit towards Samuelson at first. The play is to Kafka fielding, and it's a 3-1 to start Kafka's night here for the Red Sox, and that's the first out of the inning.
The first baseman from the University of Notre Dame.
So now Cavadas will stand in with the bases empty. Drew a walk in his last time up. Came around to score a run on the Joey Weimer 2 RBI, 2-out single. It's going to be the 6th appearance for Colin Kafka. The ERA sits at an even 4.5. He's thrown 10 innings so far this season for YD, giving up 5 earned runs. One-0 pitch to Cavadas is in there for a called strike, 1-1. Cavadas' recent dominance has been well documented as he looks at an off-speed pitch 1-2. As he will be surely one of the favorites in next week's home run hitting contest here on Cape Cod. I'm really curious how that one is going to shake out, as that one is lofted the other way into left field. Austin Wells fields it on a hop, and it's a single for Cavadas. Of course, with the All-Star game taking place this season at Orleans, it is going to be a pull-happy home run derby, as not much can get out to center field, with it being 434 feet away from home plate at Eldridge Park. So Cavadas is on with a single. And Christian Fedko, the Yukon Husky, steps in now. He's 1 for 2 on the day. That one also roped into left field, and that'll get down in front of Austin Wells, and back-to-back hits allowed from Colin Kafka. And it's first and second with 1 down. Kafka's had some solid outings in his YD career so far this season, but has struggled in his last 3, giving up an earned run in all. The best outing was an inning and 2/3, where he only allowed 1 against Chatham back on June 12th. But in the 2 prior appearances before that, gave up 2 innings and 2 runs in both of those. 13 strikeouts, 8 walks for the Oregon Duck. The first pitch is downstairs to Michael Ludwig. Ludwig singled in his last at-bat. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Ground ball gets Kafka out of the inning. 1-0 pitch dots the outside corner, and it's 1-1 now to Mike Ludwig. Cardenas getting the sign from the dugout. And is now set to deliver to Kafka. Checks Cavadas, now delivers the 1-1, and it's an off-speed pitch, and it tails away from Ludwig in the box, and it's 1-2. Kafka used almost exclusively as a starter in Eugene for the Oregon Ducks, now appearing solely in relief here for YD as the 1-2 skips into the dirt, dug out from there by Cardenas behind the plate, and it's now even 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-1 our score here. Harwich got 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. YD got the scoring started tonight with the runner in first and has been held off the scoreboard since. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. 2-2 pitch. Downstairs, and the count's full. Dangerous situation here for Kafka. Trying to keep the deficit where it is at just the 1 run, but in danger of walking the bases loaded here with one down. And Joey Weimer, the man who got the 2-out RBI for Harwich to get them on the scoreboard, looming on deck. Payoff pitch incoming from Colin Kafka. Kicks and deals. Foul tipped into the glove of Cardenas, and down swinging is Michael Ludwig. So a big second out of the inning for Colin Kafka. Now Joey Weimer finds himself in an opportunity to get another 2-out RBI for the Mariners.
Weimer Jr.
Cincinnati Bearcat. Weimer stands upright in the right-hander's batter's box before taking a high leg kick in preparation for his swing. First pitch swinging, and that one is through the hole on the left side, and that's a base hit. They're sending Cavadas, and that gets underneath the glove of Austin Wells out there in left field, and he will score standing up. And it's 3-1 Red Sox. Or excuse me, 3-1 Mariners. Had to figure if Wells fields that cleanly, he's got a play on Cavadas at the plate, but it squeaked just underneath his glove.
The catcher from the University of Connecticut.
And it's another 2-out run driven in off the bat of Joey Weimer. So now 3-1 Mariners, and still runners on first and second with 2 down. Patrick Winkle steps in. He's got 2 looking strikeouts, and he's happy to see John Beller out of this ball game. First pitch from Kafka to Winkle is a called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Winkle entered the day hitting 174. That average has dropped a little with the 2 strikeouts, and that one's grounded the other way. Young fields it on the backhand across the diamond to first, and that'll end the inning. So another run sneaks across for Harwich as they manufacture another 2-out RBI off the bat of Joey Weimer Jr. It's now 3-1 Mariners. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Wyatt Young strides to the plate for his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. YD now finds themselves down 3-1 here in this one. Andre Sims, TJ Mathewson with you as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch to Young is swung on and skied into center field. It's pushing Noisy back, but he's got a beat on it and fields it just to his left, and that's the first out of the inning. So now Brad Beasley steps in, singled and scored a run, and Whitey's only run in this contest. As Jordan Butler, despite scattering some base runners, has pitched well. First pitch to Beasley is in there for a called strike. Quickly 0-1. 0-1 offering to Beasley is outside, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. This YD offense has struggled once again against Jordan Butler. They got off to a fast start with 3 straight hits and a run scored in the first inning, but since then only had a few base runners. 2 in the second, 2 individual not on base at the same time in the third, and that's been it. Beasley flares it off the right side and out of play, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. You have to figure at this point every team here on Cape Cod is starting to feel the effects of playing so many games in so many days. It's been a long time since a lot of these teams have had an off day. As Beasley chops it at the foul at the plate, and still 2-2. I think the legs and the arms start to get a little heavy as we enter now into the 3rd straight week of baseball games for the Red Sox. 2-2 offering to Beasley. Just outside, and the count's now full. Jordan Butler right on pace with the outing he had last time he faced this YD offense. In his 5th inning of work, just the 1 run allowed. He allowed 5 hits in the past start and only at 4 here in this one. As that one skied into right, Cabrera on his horse going back, he'll make the catch. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. A lot of contact for this YD offense in this one, especially a lot of contact to the outfield. Cabrera's been active, as has Noisy in center field. But none of the contact to the outfield is really finding any grass, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Austin Wells steps in. Wells 2 hits on the day, a couple ground ball base hits, and interesting here is they're shifting very aggressively for Austin Wells, and he looks to push it down the 3rd base line, but it goes foul. Heads up play there for a guy that has major gap-to-gap power. So it's interesting that they chose to shift Austin Wells so aggressively, knowing that he can go the other way. Tried to play smart there, laying the bunt down the 3rd base line, but it rolled just foul.
And you see a lot of guys just keep the bat on their shoulder and try and hit it through the shaft and, try and use their strength. Meanwhile, the defense is giving them a base hit. If you bunt it to the left side of the infield, which Wells trying to do right there, just couldn't keep it fair.
Roped fouled on the 1st base line. Wells slams his bat down. He missed it, and it's 0-2.
And we haven't seen too many shifts with 3 guys on the same side of the infield this summer. Not even every game, maybe a couple times a week. But Harwich breaking that out here against Wells. He's got a couple of base hits that way so far.
The 0-2 pitch sent the other way. Austin Wells makes some pay, and that's a base hit. He's 3 for 3. He's pushing it all the way to second base. The throw comes in, and it's not in time as Wells is in with the slide. And that's the thing, TJ. You look at that. That's a routine line drive to the 3rd baseman if he's positioned normally, but 3rd base line's wide open. That one sneaks into left field, and it's a double for Austin Wells. He's got 3 hits today.
And Austin Wells just tells the shift to take that because, they're shifting him to pull, and he, gets a pitch on the outer edge, helps him out. But he goes the other way all the time. Half his home runs are the other way. Half his base hits are the other way. He spreads the ball around perfectly. I'm just a little puzzled why Harwich was shifting there.
Be interesting to see if they shift him on this next at-bat. As Noah Campbell steps in now, still batting from the right side, takes the 1st pitch for a called strike 0-1. Big moment here for YD as they now find themselves down 2. Campbell waves over the top of an off-speed pitch. He was out in front, and it's 0-2. It's an offense that has struggled here so far in this one to conquer the left arm of Jordan Butler. 2-out RBI opportunity for Campbell. 0-2 pitch is inside, and he takes it. It's 1-2. YD entered this game at 16-11-2. 34 points, good for second in the East behind the Chatham Anglers. Harwich sitting at 13-16 and out. That one skied into left field, but Weimer Jr.'s got a beat on it. He settles underneath, and that's the third out of the inning. So nothing doing despite the 2-out double from Austin Wells as Jordan Butler is through 5 very strong innings. It's still 3-1 Mariners. Kafka on for his second inning of work. We'll be right back. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Number 34, Riley Terada.
Top of the 6th inning, Riley Terada set to lead things off for, almost said YD out of habit. Set to lead things off for the Mariners. Here as we enter the 6th inning, Andre Sims, TJ Mathewson with you. This is the first pitch from Kafka's downstairs, 1-0. Kafka came in to start the 5th, got the first out, allowed 2 base runners, got a strikeout, then allowed a 2-out RBI hit, and an RBI for Joey Weimer Jr., as it's now 1-1 to the Dayton third baseman. Some slight action in the UID bullpen as an arm is out there beginning to stretch. And it's 1-2 now to Riley Terada. One-two pitch waved at and missed by Terada, and he's down swinging, and it's a second strikeout for Colin Kafka. The final line on John Beller, he went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, walked 3 and struck out 3. Hal Hughes now steps in. 0 for 2 on the day as he takes the first pitch in there for a called strike 0-1. Awkwardly waves at an off-speed pitch. He wasn't close, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 from Kafka. Spoiled out of play. Back off the right-hand side, and it's still 0-2. Already a better inning from Kafka as he's been ahead of both batters he's faced. 0-2 pitch is just off the inner half, and it's 1-2. This is now the fourth straight appearance in which Kafka has allowed a run as the 1-2 pitch is chopped up the third base line, but foul, and the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Awkward swing and a miss, and it's strike 3 Cardenas down to first to complete the strikeout, and it's the second out of the inning, back-to-back strikeouts for Kafka.
The center fielder from Texas Tech University.
So now it's the top of the order as Dylan Noisy steps in. Digs his back foot in out the back corner of the batter's box as he's up for his fourth at-bat of the day. Kafka delivers just downstairs, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. 3-1 our score here at Red Wilson Field. The 1-0 pitch misses away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Harwich got 2 runs in the third on a 2-out RBI hit from Joey Weimer, and then 1 additional run in the fifth on another 2-out RBI hit from the same man. He's got all 3 runs. It's batted in for Harwich in this one as it's very quickly 3-0 to Dylan Noisy. Kafka steps off the mound, takes a second to regroup. Now set to deliver the 3-0. Got the green light, Dylan Noisy did, and he skies it out to right field. Palmer just waits for it to come down, makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Colin Kafka. 2 strikeouts and a skied fly ball into right, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for the Oregon Duck. We're through 5.5. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Jake Palmer steps towards the left-hander's batter's box as he's set to lead things off for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 6th as they still trail by a score of 3-1 here against the Harwich Mariners. Andre Sims, TJ Mathewson with you on a beautiful Monday evening here in South Yarmouth. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Red Sox as Butler out for his 6th inning of work. And his first pitch is swung on and missed by Palmer in the box, and it's 0-1. This will be Butler's longest outing of the year as soon as he records an out, and it's an awkward sliding play from Christian Fedko, and then fires a last gasp attempt to get Palmer at first, and it was well wide of the bag, and it's an infield single for Jake Palmer.
Fedko there just has to range too far to his right and tries to make a miraculous play, but definitely misjudges the throw. He threw that about 15 feet wide of first. Good thing Butler is there to pick that one off the grass before it went out of play or toward the backstop where the throw is headed.
There is action in the Harwich bullpen, so you wonder how long of a leash Butler has here in the 6th. Working with a 2-run lead. And Riley King skies one into right field, and settling underneath it is Daniel Cabrera. He's been a busy man today. That's the first out of the inning.
It's retired Riley King all 3 times. King trying to get to that right center field gap, but can't quite get one to fall. Cabrera's been good at covering ground out there.
That is the 9th fly ball out in this one for YD. As they continue to get the ball in the air, but unable to find a hole. But that one finds a hole as Samuelson lines it into left center field, and it gets down for a single, and it's first and second and one down here for the Red Sox.
And now a big hit at bat here for Eister. Had a good day yesterday. He struggled up there at the plate so far. If he can get a barrel on a baseball, though, find a gap, tie this game. I feel huge for him.
Scott Pickler giving signs from the third base coaching box.
Designated hitter from the University of South Carolina, Andrew
Eister will step in. Struck out looking in the second. Struck out swinging on a check swing, and he was rung up by James Fonseca at first base in the fourth. Now up in the sixth with an RBI opportunity. First pitch from Butler. Downstairs, 1-0. Ground ball gets Butler and Harwich out of the jam. Eister awaits the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That one's a fastball that tails away from Eister in the box and paints the outside corner. It's 1-1. Big time opportunity for Eister, who's been slumping. He's been working day in and day out with Scott Pickler pregame, tweaking his swing, making adjustments. Really saw it pay dividends for the first time yesterday as he spoils this one. Foul off the right side, and that one will fall harmlessly to the grass in between the foul line and the out of play line, and it's 1-2. Still only one down in the inning, and barring a double play here from Eister, Noah Cardenas will hit. You wonder, should Eister reach, if that'll be the end of the line for Jordan Butler. Check on Palmer at second base. Fedko bluffs an attempt. That one's chopped foul weakly off the third base side, and it's still 1-2. Longest start of the Cape League season for Jordan Butler. The Florida Gators gone now 5 1/3, surpassing the 5 innings he threw against YD here at Red Wilson Field back on July 8th. In that one, gave up just 5 hits. That one smoked on the ground to third base. Terada to Fedko, over to first, not in time, as Eister beat it out on the back end. So now runners on the corners now for Cardenas as he looks to bring in Jake Palmer.
Not a total win for Eister, but did hit that one squarely, though, right at Tirana. Had that found a hole on the infield. He might see an RBI to his name and had the lead cut to 1 instead, just a fielder's choice, but advances Palmer 90 more feet.
So instead of Cardenas, it'll be Eric Tolman coming in to pinch hit,
from Arizona State University, Eric Tolman.
which means Austin Wells will go behind the dish, and Tolman will take his spot in left field. Tolman, we've seen the light tower power. And there'll be a conversation on the mound on how to attack the lefty Tolman.
Yeah, and for him, for the most part, it's just been pinch hitting appearances this summer, but he's made the most of it when he can. He's been effective at the plate, showed a good eye. He's fouled off a few pitches. He's really been working on a lot of stuff. But 4 for 10 on the summer with a double and a home run and 4 RBIs, and having walked 5 times and only struck out once. Not too shabby at all.
Certainly has a pitcher's eye there at home plate. I've always figured that had to be at least be somewhat of an advantage being a two-way player. Understanding the action on pitches, you're obviously, I would assume, be able to recognize things a little bit better out of the hand, knowing what you throw yourself. And now he will step in a big-time 2-out RBI opportunity for YD.
He's a go-ahead run.
One swing of the bat could completely change the complexion of this ball game. Palmer sits on third base. Andrew Eister, after the fielder's choice, is on first. Tolman now steps in. Lefty out of Arizona State. First pitch to him. In there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Tolman in his last start for YD pitched outstanding. A scoreless outing, as that one's foul tipped at the plate, and it's now quickly 0-2. Should Tolman reach, leadoff man Wyatt Young waits on deck. Tolman now has to battle down 0-2. Here's the pitch. Got him looking on the fastball. Tolman steps in, faces 3 pitches, and goes down looking. And Whitey strands a pair on the corners. We are through 6 full. We head to the top of the 7th inning. The Mariners still lead 3-1. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Daniel Cabrera.
We are 2/3 of the way through this ball game. Top 7 as Daniel Cabrera, who's had himself a good night, looks at a first pitch from Kafka, and it's 1-0. I was partially right in my predictions for the defensive changes for YD. Austin Wells is behind the plate now, catching Colin Kafka, but instead of Eric Tolman in left, it's the Clemson utility star Sam Hall out there playing left field. First time we've seen him in the field in a little bit of time. He's been battling some arm soreness following his relief appearance against Chatham in the blowout a couple weeks ago. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Daniel Cabrera. Reached base twice and scored a run. Two 1 pitch is low, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Cabrera will be sitting on his pitch and his pitch alone as he looks to get this Harwich offense started here in the 7th. 3-1 pitch. Chopped weakly on the ground to Campbell. He comes in to meet it. Over to first and beats Cabrera by a step for the first out in the inning. So after a rocky first inning, Kafka has pitched much better here in the 6th and with the first out here in the 7th, now retiring 5 straight after allowing back-to-back singles and then another single sandwiched around a strikeout to allow this game to get to 3-1. Kavadas now steps in. Looks at a first pitch off speed, and it's in there for a called strike at the top of the zone, 0-1.
And it looks like Oscar Carvajal up and tossing in the Waddy bullpen, providing he slots in behind Kafka.
0-1 pitch misses down and away, and it's even at a ball and a strike. Noah Campbell playing on the outfield grass. So that one's weakly chopped foul back to the screen just off the right-hand side, and it's now 1-2. Cavadas, a single and a walk, scored 2 runs in this one. That one's downstairs as well, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kafka working out of the windup. The righty delivers. Big swing and a miss from Cavadas at the plate, and he's out in front of the off-speed pitch and down on strikes. Second strikeout of the day for Cavadas, one courtesy of John Beller in the first, and this one courtesy of Cullen Kafka. Advantage Pac-12 over the Notre Dame man. And Christian Fedko now will step in with 2 outs and the base is clear.
There's just that breaking ball that's really been working well this last inning and 2/3. He's gotten a couple to chase.
First pitch to Fedko is high and tight. That one clips him on the shoulder, and he'll head down to first. So another 2-out base runner.
Designated hitter from Wake Forest University.
And now the designated hitter, Mike Ludwig, will step in with the runner on and 2 down. Kafka back in the stretch. Bit of a bluff on the bunt attempt from Ludwig, but he takes it as it's a ball down in the way on the fastball, and it's 1-0. Riley King now shifts in to even with the bag at third. That one back up the middle. Campbell shaded already into the infield grass, and that'll get it past him into center field, and going first to third is Christian Fedko. Michael Ludwig beats the shift, and it's first and third now with 2 down. So a seeing eye single from Mike Ludwig puts runners on the corner for Harwich as they look for another 2-out RBI, and the man at the plate has been the man to do it so far in this one for Harwich. He's got all 3 of the RBIs, and all 3 of them have come with 2 outs in this ball game. Joey Weimer Jr. steps in 2 for 3 on the day. Campbell shifts once again, this time playing just to the right of the second base bag as the first pitch from Kafka is high and tight, brushes Weimer back, and it's 1-0. Jake Palmer way off the line and right, allowing all kinds of real estate off the right field line. One-0 pitch to Weimer. And that one once again is roped through the middle, and death taxes and Joey Weimer with 2-out RBI singles in this ball game. And it's now 4-1 Harwich.
He's just been there when they need it. Not going to hit it all that hard. Just finds the right spot on the infield. He splits Riley King and Wyatt Young. Easy hop into left field and an easy trot home for Christian Fedko.
Still not enough to bring Scott Pickler out of the dugout, as the game is now 4-1. Harwich 4 runs on 9 hits, still no errors. YD one run on 7 hits in this one. First pitch is downstairs for a ball, 1-0 to Winkle.
And you look back at that 2-out hit by pitch to Fedko on the first pitch too. Think nothing of it at the time until he comes home and scores the 4th run with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
2-out runs continue to plague this YD team, as it has been a constant theme for this team in games that are either close where they are losing and the 2-out runs allows them to be broken open, or in a tight game that they are winning and the 2-out run allows the team to come back. 2-0 pitch. Chopped foul and out of play off the first base side, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike to Winkle. Combine that with the 8 runners that YD has left on base in this one, and that is not a recipe for a victory. 2-1 pitch. Off the outer half away, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Kafka struggling to get out of the 7th. After retiring the first 2 batters in the frame, the last 3 have reached courtesy of a hit by pitch and back-to-back singles. 3-1 now the count to Winkle. And that one is roped, but Samuelson will snag it on the leap, and that'll get him out of the frame. So another run comes in, courtesy of another Joey Weimer Jr. 2-out RBI hit. It's now 4-1 Mariners. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time at Red Wilson. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
It'll be Jared Weatherby out of Elon, the sophomore, set to take over on the bump for the Harwich Mariners in relief of the Florida product, Jordan Butler. 6 innings, 7 hits for the Florida lefty, just 1 run. Very similar performance to his first time out against YD, both 5+ innings, keeping the Red Sox to just 1 hit. So it'll be Weatherby out of Elon. He's been excellent this summer for Harwich, a 1.42 ERA in 6 games. So it'll be his 7th appearance in the summer. He's pitched 6 1/3. First pitch, the left-hander to the left-handed hitting Wyatt Young. Stays upstairs, it's ball 1 with a fastball. A 3-pitch guy, a fastball, a splitter, and a circle change. Stands at as the 1-0 is chopped foul, and the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. 5'10", 200 pounds. Native of Fiskdale, Massachusetts. Fastball sits anywhere from 88 to 94 miles an hour to complement the 2 off-speed pitches. Young awaits the 1-1. Weatherby brushes him back, a fastball up and in, and the count goes to 2-1. Young today 0 for 2. He walked back in the second. Red Sox got their lone run back in the first and have been kept off the board since then. To just 4 scattered hits across the other frames since that first one. 2-1 is fouled back by Young, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. In 2019 at Elon, 18 appearances, 84 innings, a 7-4 record. An ERA right at 3. 98 strikeouts to 23 walks. So he's got the swing and miss stuff. Young digs back in. He doesn't swing and miss a whole lot. Weatherby, a deep breath out of the windup from the third base side, the 2-2. Fastball stays upstairs, and the count will go full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Defense playing Wyatt Young straight up, apart from Nico Cavadas hugging the line at first. Weatherby winds, and the 3-2. Fastball well up and outside. So leadoff walk to Wyatt Young. Good start for Whitey. Second straight inning the Red Sox have had the leadoff runner on, and that will bring up the center fielder Brad Beasley, and instantly out of the dugout, a visit from the Harwich coaching staff. Young works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Harwich leads by 4. On average, they give up under 3 runs per game, an ERA at 2.81. To complement their offense, which ranks at the bottom of the league in scoring runs. Play a lot of close ball games. So all that need to be said is set, and Mariners will get back to their positions. Four-one game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brad Beasley at the plate. Wyatt Young leads off of first. He's 5 for 7 on stolen bases this season. First pitch to Beasley. Fastball over for a strike. It's 0-1. Brad hits right-handed, the junior out of Cal Poly. Weatherby sets, and the 0-1. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 2. It's quickly 0-2 on Brad Beasley. Young leads off of first. Red Sox trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-2. Swinging a ground ball right at Fedko at second on a couple hops. He fields, shovels to second for 1. Return throw to first is in time. Beasley grounds into a 4-6-3 double play and erases the leadoff walk from Wyatt Young. So instantly a twin killing after the meeting on the mound. And there's 2 down, and Austin Wells will step to the plate. And with that, we welcome on one of Whitey's writing interns, Alexis Dill. Welcome on. First time on the broadcast this summer.
Thanks
Glad to
for
have you
having
on.
me.
Always said you were a little nervous to come on, but
Yeah.
here you are. So Wells is at the plate. He's 3 for 3 on the day. Bringing you on with 2 outs. Probably keep you for top half of the 8th as well. Breaking ball to Wells stays high. 1-0. Enjoying your summer, are you?
Yeah, it's been one of the best summers of my life, actually.
I have to agree. Pretty fantastic up here. Not a better place. 1-0 to Wells. Fastball called a strike, and it's 1-1. But mostly on the riding side. First time putting a headset on. Gotta say, you always feel a rush when you put that headset on. 1-1 to Wells. Swing and a foul out of play, and the count's now 1-2. Putting on the headset for the first time can be, a little nerve-wracking, but you get past it. No pressure. GM Steve Fosher sitting right behind you, so
Can't say anything stupid, huh?
you mess up, it's on you. 1-2. Swing and a foul tailing out of play third base side. And the count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So really stakes couldn't be higher for you right now. You mess up, you might get kicked out of the press
Oh,
box.
so I can't tell them how I really feel?
Nah, probably not. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Wells. Weatherby sets, winds, and 1-2. Breaking ball stays outside. Maybe a little bit high as well. And the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two to Wells. Swinging a broken bat, shallow fly ball right field. Actually, will stay medium depth. Daniel Cabrera over to his right, and he'll be there and make the catch. So 1, 2, 3, the Red Sox end up getting set down in order thanks to the double play from Brad Beasley, and they go scoreless in the bottom of the 7th. We'll head to the top of the 8th inning here from Red Wilson Field. It's 4-1 Harwich here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. So it'll be Riley Terada 8-9 to lead it off for the Harwich Mariners, 8-9-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. New arm on the mound for YD is Oscar Carval, the sophomore out of Fresno State in his 4th appearance of the summer. Again, she joined us with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Want to welcome back Alexis Dill, one of our writing interns here at YD, making her 2019 broadcast debut. 0-1 to Terada, chopped at the plate. And it's now 0-2 on Riley. Here in your first summer with YD, 2 returning interns, myself and Natalie, our social media intern, but you, first-year intern, having a lot of fun, you told me, in the last half of the 7th inning.
Oh, yeah, this is like a dream. I mean, growing up, I've always loved baseball. My older brother played, so I'm used to going to 65 games this summer, so this is awesome. And I mean, this competition, it doesn't get better than this.
It really does not. 0-2 misses outside to make the count 1-2. Carver Hall sends the 1-2 home. Breaking ball chopped out towards Wyatt Young at short. He fields, throws a running throw over to first, and it's in time to get Terada. 6-3 for the first down of this 8th inning. You, a native of Cleveland, Ohio, making a transition here to the Cape, not that hard for you?
No, not really. I always tell people I believe that Cleveland's kind of like Boston, just a much smaller version. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that comparison before.
No, I actually heard about the Cape. I read the book The Last Best League. It follows the Chatham Anglers, but I read that in middle school, and that's when I first learned about the Cape League. And so I decided I'd love to work around baseball, so I applied for this internship, got it, and here I am.
About the same way for me.
Yeah.
0-1 the count here on Hal Hughes. 0-1, breaking ball again from Carvajal. Swing and a miss from Hughes, and it's 0-2. And it's really nice getting to be around these guys. You get to know them, and just summer ball it's quite different from every other part of the baseball season. A lot more relaxed. Everyone's, a lot of these guys here try and show off to the scouts, but a lot, it's having a good time. 0-2.
Yeah,
misses in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
I can't say enough about this organization. One, I love all the other interns. Steve, the GM, he's been great to all of us, and the players have been great. All very friendly, willing to help out in any way they can. They're all just great guys.
1-2, cut on and miss for strike 3. 2 up, 2 down for Carvajal here in the 8th inning.
Their talent really doesn't get to their heads, which is surprising.
Yeah. You would think that, but no. Whitey has done quite well this summer. 16, 11, and 2, second place in the Eastern Division. That'll flip the lineup over. Dylan Noisy will step to the plate. And now you're a writer for YD.
Yes, sir.
And have you had a favorite piece you've written so far?
I wouldn't say a favorite piece, but I did enjoy writing the recent All-Star piece that I just did, because I love highlighting these guys. Like they're all great guys, very friendly. They're doing great things on and off the field. So that was fun for me to write. I'm happy that those 4 guys were selected to be in the All-Star game. Each one of them deserved it.
1-1 the count here on Noisy. Yeah, Austin Wells, Riley King, Noah Campbell, and Wyatt Young. All 4 getting the start for YD today. 1-1 misses inside. It's now 2-1. And then, of course, ideas for the future. Have anything planned for us in the near future? Want to tease to people listening at home that can't be here?
I'm currently working on a piece about Gary Wilson, our #1 super fan after Brady, of course. But he's been consistently coming to games for the past decade or so, only misses about 2 games a summer. So just talking to him was great. So I'm really excited about that. I'd also love to do a piece on one of the players. I mean, Austin Wells is such a fantastic athlete and player. He'd be fun to write about too.
2-2 popped up towards first base. Tay Samuelson will backtrack and make the catch for out number 3. Alexis, if you don't mind, you could stay on for the bottom half of the 8th inning if you want to. We'll step aside. It's 4-1 Harwich, headed to the bottom half of the 8th inning here in South Yarmouth.
Baseman from the University of South Carolina.
Noah Campbell, Jake Palmer, and Riley King set to come to the plate for YD. They trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still, TJ Matheson joined alongside one of our writing interns here at YD, Alexis Still, spilling news about her potential upcoming future news stories here for YD. First pitch to Campbell, swinging a weak fly ball out to right field. It's dropping, and it will drop in front of Daniel Cabrera for a base hit. And Campbell on the first pitch singles off of Jared Weatherby, who pitched a scoreless 7th inning in relief of Jordan Butler. Red Sox for the 3rd straight inning have the leadoff runner on, and that will bring up Jake Palmer. But Alexis, you were mentioning how much, how good some of these stories are from these players. You're going to hang around them all day. You mentioned the awesome athlete of Austin Wells. You have Riley King coming in, storing on for an all-star bid. Didn't get here until about a week through the season. You have Wyatt Young, a temporary player, now the Cape's second leading hitter as Palmer swings at the first pitch, bloops it into left field. Incoming is the left fielder Weimer. He's there, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. So 2 pitches, a single, and a flyout for YD here in the 8th inning. And that will bring up Riley King, the third baseman. Of course, options aplenty on the mound, too. John Beller, one of the funniest guys on the team. As well, Eric Tolman, 2-way player, just the thought process of that. I couldn't imagine doing that. Switch hitting's hard enough, let alone pitching and hitting. So here's King. Right-handed hitter awaits the first pitch, fastball. Misses low. But what's your biggest takeaway that you've had from this summer so far with this team and, just watching all the baseball here on the Cape?
Well, the obvious answer is that I do love baseball as much as I thought I did, and I love writing. But I'd say just how much I've learned from other people. Just reading other people's stuff, listening to you guys on the broadcast. Like, I really don't know as much as I thought I did. So having the opportunity to just learn from people who know more and are a little more talented than me right now has been huge.
Don't disregard yourself. 3-0 the count here on Riley King. It's just different for everyone. I hate writing.
Man, this kid has been super fun to watch, though, Riley King.
3-0 to King right down Main Street. And really heated up here as of late. Found the power stroke. Has had 3 homers in the past week.
Ever since they moved him down a little bit in the lineup, he's gotten super hot.
And no more pressure being in the 4-hole. 3-1, swinging a ground ball right up the middle. It scoots into center field for a base hit. Campbell will jog to second. King touches up first. And there's 2 base hits for the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. They have runners on at first and second. And Tate Samuelson a chance to drive in a run. So Samuelson today is 1 for 3. He singled his last time up in the 6th. But really, being out here at the ballpark every day, it does make you realize whether or not you actually do love this game. Mm-hmm. If you show up every day and, you're glad to be here every day, I can say I am. And you do truly love the game. As the first pitch of Samuelson, line drive into right field. It gets down for a base hit. Campbell getting the wave on at third. The throw will go into second base. Campbell scores. The throw gets through the infield. Samuelson will advance to second. King will hold at third. So a wild throw from Daniel Cabrera overthrows Hal Hughes, the shortstop, trying to cut it off. It trickles all the way past the third baseman, Riley Tirada, near the Whitey dugout. Allows Samuelson to advance all the way to second. And now the runners are on at second and third. A run in for Whitey. That tying run is out there on second base for Andrew Eister. What a big hit it could be for him if he can tie this game up with a base knock. So Eister steps in. He's 0 for 3. And now Steve Engler out of the dugout on the Mariners' first base side. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change. He makes the move down to the bullpen, and we're going to have a new arm here in South Yarmouth. We'll step aside for the new pitcher. Be back on the other side of this break here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Harwich from the
It'll be Joe Boyle, member of Notre Dame, in to pitch for Harwich. One of the lockdown arms at the back end of this Harwich bullpen and one of the 9 All-Stars for the Mariners. A 1-1 record. This is going to be his 8th appearance of the summer, an ERA under 1, .81 in 11 innings. He's got a pair of staves, and he struck out 21, walked 7 in his 11 innings. His fastball will reach 103 miles an hour. He stands at 6'7", 225, and he's going to get to face Jack Thomas Wold, who's going to pinch hit in the spot of Andrew Eister. So you talk about, Alexis, the talent up here on the Cape. This is about as good as it gets. 103 on the mound. First pitch. Fastball swing and a high fly ball. Deep right field. Cabrera looks up, and that one is out of here.
A pinch hit home
Jack
run.
Wold gets a first pitch fastball and rocks it over the right field fence. His first home run since opening day gives Whitey the lead 5-4.
Wow. How about that, TJ? A pinch hit home run to take the lead.
Up there looking for the gas. He gets the gas and he puts the barrel on it and puts it over the right field fence. I mean, catching up to that fastball. Holy moly. First home run since opening day for Jack Thomas Wold. And he puts Whitey in front, 5-4, and in a hurry, Taylor Dollard gets up and starts throwing in the Whitey bullpen. So Joe Boyle serves up the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A guy who, coming in today, had given up 1 total run entering today. So here's Sam Hall batting in the spot of originally Noah Cardenas, then Eric Tolman, and now it will be Hall here in the 8th inning. First 2 pitches miss inside. It's 2-0.
I'll tell you, TJ, Wold has been working his tail off during BP. And today, Red Sox manager Scott Pickler, I heard him say, Jack, like, you look better, like, you look good. And so to watch him come in here and hit a home run off of one of the best pitchers in the league to retake the lead, like, that's awesome.
And
you love to see that.
Hitters have recorded just 2 total hits in 11 innings against Boyle. I mean, it's tough to touch 103. And Wold did more than touch it there. 3-0. Well inside to Hall, and he's on 4 pitches. So Boyle in 5 pitches has served up a 3-run home run and a 4-pitch walk to Sam Hall. So with that home run, it's going to close the line on Jared Weatherby. An inning and a third, 3 hits, 3 runs, they were all earned. That last run, courtesy of Wold, will be tagged to Joe Boyle. So here's Wyatt Young. League's 2nd leading hitter, has yet to record a hit today. He's walked twice. And you have polar opposites here, mound and plate. Boyle 6'7", Wyatt Young 5'7". There goes Hall from first on the first pitch, and Winkle can't get it out of his glove. Hall dives in head first, safely at second. So Clemson's leading base stealer, Sam Hall, goes on the first pitch from Boyle and easily swipes second. But then I mentioned the 2 different profiles here. You have the hard thrower, and then Wyatt Young, former temp player, now with the Red Sox the rest of the season, has really just had so much success. It's the stories like these that make this league 1-0 fouled straight back, and it goes to 1-1.
He's just such a fundamentally sound player. He won't wow you in any one category, but he does everything well.
1 ball and 1 strike here to Young. Red Sox with a 4 spot here in the 8th have taken the lead. 1-1 on the way. Swing and a foul back, and the count goes to 1-2. I mean, you look at opening day roster, and you know you realize probably about half of these guys are going to be gone. And Wyatt Young, who's there on opening day, stayed. Jack Thomas Wold, who's scored the first run of the season for YD, was hero today as well. 1-2 to Young. Fastball, actually looked the breaking ball stays high, and the count goes to 2-2. But, you know, to be successful in this league, it's, of course, you got all your full-time players, but it's not guaranteed they'll all be here. It's about those temporary guys that'll stick around and succeed for you. Last year's MVP was Matthew Barefoot, hit .379. He was a temporary player. Didn't even start on opening day. 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Young set down on strikes, the first strikeout of the game for Joe Boyle. There's 2 down here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Brad Beasley.
What a great pickup Wyatt Young was, too, because when you think about it, Luke Waddell, who was playing shortstop for us, he left to go play for Team USA, and he's actually doing very well. He's hitting over .350 at the top of the Team USA lineup. And Drew Swift, who played shortstop for us as well, a little bit of second base. He went home just this past week. He's been out for a few weeks now with a hand injury, so I don't know what we would do without Wyatt.
Just been a mainstay there at short. Makes all the plays over there as well. Is a really good defender. 0-1 the count here on Brad Beasley. Boyle fires home the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count will go to 1-1. Five 4 Red Sox here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Boyle sets, looks back at second. There goes Hall again, breaking towards third, and there's going to be no throw. So good secondary lead, and then Hall just took off, and he swipes his second bag. Winkle looked like, again, couldn't get a good grip on that ball. And it makes it harder with Brad Beasley hitting right-handed to get that throw off to third. 2-1 to Beasley. Fastball misses, and it will go to 3-1. 3-run shot by Jack Thomas Wold gives the Red Sox the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. One of the most shutdown arms in the Cape has been touched up here today. 3-1 to Beasley. Misses away for ball 4. So Brad will jog down to first, and now Austin Wells, the 9th batter of this inning for YD, will stride to the plate. He'll shed the catcher's gear. Wells already 3 hits on the day. He flew out his last time up in the 7th.
University of Arizona, Austin Wells.
And another meeting out on the mound for the Harwich Mariners as Boyle's control has been a little erratic here. I asked Brian this question the other day, but in terms of Cape League ballparks, which one you like the best so far?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Honestly, this is unfair, but I love Red Wilson Field. I love that we don't have a long walk from our cars in the parking lot. I love the fact that the sun isn't beating down on us the whole game. I mean,
we get to be inside.
Granted, we're in the press box, but at the Veterans Field, the home of the Chatham Anglers, that sun is brutal. That's the one thing I don't like about their field. Other than us, though, I gotta say, I like the Stony Brook Field, the home of the Brewster Whitecaps.
Interesting pick.
It's pretty nice. I also, believe it or not, I like the Bourne Stadium.
Dorn is all right. Dorn is all right. Hit or miss there. Experiences for me here through 2 seasons. First pitch to Austin Wells. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. And we got to see Lowell Park in Katuitt on opening night. I'd like to see Lowell Park on a warmer night. It was pretty cold there on opening night. 0-1 to Wells. Swing and a miss. Tried going after a fastball at the top shelf of the strike zone. It's 0-2. And, of course, you have Veterans Field, sort of the diamond of the Cape in terms of going to see a Cape League game. That's the one you think of. I mean, made a movie about it. It was in a movie, at least. 0-2 on the way to Wells. Break fastball actually misses well outside, and it goes to 1-2. Any other sleepers, though? You get to go see Hartford. You're going to miss out on Spillane in Wareham.
Yeah, that's right.
Trade it for a minor league ballpark instead.
But yeah, no, I love our field. We might not have the nicest field, but I personally think it's the best.
1-2 to Wells. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Wells takes a strike 3 on the inside corner. Has a word or two for Tom Ryberg behind the plate as he strolls back to the Whitey dugout. We'll head to the 9th. Red Sox with a 4 spot in the 8th inning thanks to a Jack Thomas Wold 3-run home run have taken the lead 5-4, and now Taylor Dollard in to shut things down for YD. It's 5-4 Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. With the 4 spot in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Red Sox have taken the lead over the Harwich Mariners, and they'll send out their closer, Taylor Dollard, here in the 9th inning. He'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the Harwich lineup. Daniel Cabrera, Nico Cavanas, and Christian Fedko. So it'll be Cabrera, the LSU Tiger, who has a hit today back in the first. 1 for 3 with a walk. First pitch breaking ball from Dollard, over for a strike. It's 0-1. Taylor on the season, just one rough performance overall for him. Otherwise has been spotless. 1-1, a 2.13 ERA. This is his 9th appearance, going for his 5th save. In 12 2/3 innings, he struck out 21 and walked 1. 0-1, swinging a foul back from Cabrera, and the count's 0-2. And it's fun here, Alexis, still with us, of course, here on the Red Sox broadcast. Seeing a smaller school guy, Dollard, come up here and dominate in the Cape. Yes, still a Division I arm, but not a Power 5 arm. Facing a Power 5 guy right here in Daniel Cabrera.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, I'm shocked that he didn't make the All-Star team.
Yeah, I was too.
I'm surprised that John Bellard didn't get a look either.
Also surprised at that.
Seymour makes sense since he's done for the season, but I think had he not reached his pitch count, that he would have definitely made it. He leads the league in strikeouts with how many? 39,
39,
I believe?
yep.
Yeah.
So that foul ball from Cabrera roughed up Austin Wells a bit. Home plate umpire Tom Ryberg giving him a couple seconds to shake it off. It's 0-2 the count here on Cabrera. But three Cal Poly guys to be exact here on this roster for Scott Pickler. You have Brad Beasley, Taylor Dollard, Tate Samuelson. 0-2. Fastball misses away, and the count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. But allows some of these smaller schools, not necessarily tiny schools, to make a name for themselves. 1-2 on its way from Dollard. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count's now even 2-2.
You know, TJ, how much of a role do you think that plays in who's selected to participate in the All-Star game? Like what school they play for?
I don't think it matters
No.
that much, no. Because in the end, if you're playing well, you're playing well. 2-2 is fouled back, and the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. And, you know, if this were a fan contest, which would be kind of hard, it's just summer ball, they'd pick probably the bigger school. But, you know, the coaches are the ones who make the decision on who plays and who doesn't in the All-Star game. And no matter what school you go to, if you're playing well, most likely your head coach is going to go in there and say, this guy deserves to be an All-Star. I'm sure that's what Scott Pickler did in the meeting a couple days ago as the 2-2 was ripped foul. They were down the right field line. The count will stay even. But
To be fair, all of the other pitchers in the East Division who were chosen to be All-Stars are excellent statistically as well.
Yes.
But, man, I do feel for a guy like Taylor Dollard because he's just been dominant all summer except for that one appearance.
yeah, that July 10th in Brewster's only bat outing in the summer, the only one where he allowed runs. 2-2, strike 3 called. Breaking ball in the inside corner. Strikes out Cabrera looking to start this 9th inning. And now 22 strikeouts to just 1 walk for Dollard. That's an astounding number to strike out that many and be around the strike zone, miss that many bats. So here's Cavanas, the league leader in home runs. Could tie this ball game up with 1 swing. He's got 7. Dollard sets out of the stretch. First pitch on incoming. Breaking ball stays high, and it's 1-0.
3 of those home runs for,
Cavadas.
came Saturday night, correct?
Yeah, impressive. 3 home runs. Hard to do up here for college players with a wood bat. I mean, making the transition against these elite arms is hard enough. 1-0, breaking ball, called a strike. It's 1-1. We only saw 1 last year. All season, Peyton Burdick of Catuit on opening night had 3. He finished the season, I believe, with 3 home runs as well. It's tough to do.
I wonder what Cavadas ate before that game.
That's a good question. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and Cavanas is behind 0-2. Pretty breaking ball there from Dollard. Maybe I'll have one of the whatever he ate before a broadcast, see if I can hit a home run. Or maybe before we get intern BP. Who knows? Dollard had 1 and 2. Red Sox defense shading him to pull. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dollard gets him with another breaking ball, getting Cavanas to chase, and there's 2 down back-to-back strikeouts for Dollard, and that'll bring up Christian Fedko as the last hope for Harwich here in the 9th inning. How far you think you could hit an intern BP? You do play college softball.
I do play college softball, but I'm just playing at the D3 level.
Alexis plays at Oberlin College in Cleveland.
Yes. And are we using a wooden bat?
I'll probably use a metal bat, so you can
Okay.
use one too. First pitch to Fedko, swinging a pop-up, shallow left field. Wyatt Young tracking it up in the sky. He makes the call, and he makes the catch for out number 3, and that will do it. Taylor Dollard comes in the 9th inning and slams the door, striking out 2 and retiring all 3 Harwich Mariners he faces as a 4-run bottom of the 8th inning pushes the Red Sox past the Mariners. We're going to step aside real quick. When we come back, we'll wrap it all up for you here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at Red Wilson Field, Red Sox polish off a 5-4 comeback victory over the Harwich Mariners thanks to a 4-run bottom half of the 8th inning, highlighted by a Jack Thomas Wold 3-run home run off of Joe Boyle. Flame-throwing right-hander for Harwich. TJ Mathewson here, joined alongside one of our writers, Alexis Still, here to wrap it up for you. Red Sox, it was looking pretty bleak early on. Jordan Butler was good. Through 6 innings, he had 7 hits, 1 run. It was earned 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. But then the bullpen comes in, and in their 2 innings of work, Harwich staff allowed 4 runs in those 2 innings and was really the backbreaker before Taylor Dollard came in and slammed the door. And you're mentioning this lineup, Alexis, and you're talking about Austin Wells, who, after going 0 for 4 yesterday, had a nice bounce-back day today and really helped, didn't have an RBI, didn't score a run either. But, it just it helped that the rest of the lineup, Tate Samuelson, you saw, also had 2 hits before Jack Thomas Wold came in and really ignited this offense.
We never see Austin Wells have a back-to-back poor performance. And that just speaks to his character, how cool and calm and composed he is, how confident he is at the plate. He can go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts one day and then go 3 for 4 with 2 doubles the next day.
And what we saw with John Beller today, not his best start, just 4 innings, 2 hits. The 2 runs were earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. But then you had the bullpen come in. You had Colin Kafka give up 2 runs. But then Carvajal and Dollard, 2 of the better relievers we've seen for YD this summer, really shut it down and helped this 8th inning comeback be possible.
That's another guy who's just insanely confident and composed, Taylor Dollard. Like we talked about on the broadcast tonight, Dollard went in against the Brewster Whitecaps and blew the game a week or so ago. But after that, I think he's had 1 appearance, maybe 2.
Yep. The next day, he was scoreless inning.
Yep. And then tonight to go out there and just strike out those batters and close out the game, get the save.
It's always nice when you have a guy
you can from your YD
when
players.
you can bring a guy in from the bullpen and shut the game down. So one last time, the final line from tonight, the Red Sox won 5-4, 5 runs on 11 hits and no errors. The Harwich Mariners 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. The Red Sox will improve to 17, 11, and 2 and collect their 35th and 36th points on the summer. The Harwich Mariners will fall to 13 and 17 and stay in last place in the Eastern Division. Tomorrow, the Red Sox will be right back here at Red Wilson Field, finishing a streak of 8 of 10 games at home. 5 o'clock first pitch against the Bourne Braves. For Andre Sims and Alexis Still, I'm TJ Mathewson saying so long and good night from Red Wilson Field.